So a while back, I posted some photograph of that someone had sent me about Mahatma Gandhi dancing in his little outfit, his robe or whatever, and he was dancing around, and it's kind of amusing. But yeah, it was a harmless photo. I mean, I didn't. There was no agenda behind it. I wasn't praising the guy, but someone responded. They posted that, well, when he was older, he slept naked in the same bed with young girls. So he's not my role model. Thank you very much, or something to that effect. And it's just that is just sort of emblematic of the mentality that we have, the witch hunt, angry mentality that we have now of harshly judging people. If we recognize some sort of behavior that's bad or inappropriate, then we decide to neutralize everything good about the person and demonize them and want to see them destroyed, and give them and make no acknowledgement for the good that they did. So in the case of Gandhi, they could be rumors, it could be fake news, it could be real. I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe it's true. Maybe he did do that. But in my opinion, look, if you look at the expanse of his life and what he stood for and what he did and how he helped humanity and how he believed in peaceful, non-violent, non-cooperation with evil, and how he, using that, drove the British out of India and gave India their own sovereignty. The guy was amazing, and so on one level, he was an incredibly high being who had incredible courage and fearlessness and power, personal power. And if it's true, then on the other hand, he also had feet of clay, and like the rest of us, he's imperfect. And did some uncool things, but that doesn't mean that we completely negate everything good about him. Okay, yes, if you want to point out the defects in people, fine, but I think it's also important to point out at the same time our gratitude and appreciation for the good that they did, and not simply demonize them and throw them under the bus. And that's what's happening now. It's all over the place. Now, and again, I'm not. It's good to point out the bad in people. It's good to expose the bad in people, the bad acts of people. That's not my argument here. But at the same time, in my opinion, it's unfair to paint them with this broad brush that because they did whatever, that makes them completely worthless. Because, like in the case of, I believe even the case of Martin Luther King, I believe had affairs and stuff. So some people could think that's not a good role model, and he wasn't a great person because he had affairs with other women, and and people could say that about Bill Clinton, and people could say that about all sorts of people. The bottom line is most people are flawed and imperfect, and they're not saints. That's why they're not saints, because they're not saints. And so it's best if we not overly glorify or overly demonize anybody. And again, be fair. If you feel someone has done the wrong thing, I think you should preface it. I think you should say, hey, I appreciate all the good that you've done. I appreciate the value that you've given to society, etc. I appreciate your charity and kindness, whatever it might be. However, in this situation where you did this stuff, that wasn't cool and you need to be held accountable. Fine. All right.